All right, so let's do a deep dive on the begin event, actor overlap, and then event tick. Right, so the first thing that we need to do here is understand why those events exist, right? So for example, imagine on our case that we want to do something when we press play. Let's say that we want to start a cube or we want to change an actor mesh. So for example, let's just add here a cube to our existing world. And what I want to do is that when I press play, at the moment I press play, I want to change the shape of this to a sphere, right? So what I like to do, for example, here, I'm just going to rename this to mesh because it's going to be a generic thing. And usually what you do is that you go to your event graph. By the way, if you close these things, that's fine. You can just go to the window and you search here for viewport. You search here for the event, the graph. It's just gonna, oh. So you go here and you search for the palette, right? So you have all this information here. This is quite actually interesting as well, the palette. So if you click on that as well, we have a list of things that you can drag and drop into your scene. But also you have the sequence, and here we're gonna have the bookmark, my blueprint references, widgets, and we're gonna have a bunch of other things here as well. Now, because I closed the event, what you can actually do here is that you can just go back here to the event graphs and you can open up that. Also, if you close my blueprint, you can just open up here on the my blueprint, and then you're gonna have exactly the same behavior. But anyway, this thing that I was talking about, the palette, is that you can drag and drop things here easily, right? There's two ways we can access the palettes. We can do like this, or the easiest way they're probably gonna use all the time, just by right click and you search for your integration. But the way you actually approach this is that you would, in the blueprint, is very easy that you can just drag and drop things from your components to your event graph. So for example, each object that you can see here has his own what we call APIs that we can interact with them in different ways. So for example, if I get my mesh and drag and drop here, I have a bunch of things that I can use with it from the pin. You see, I have a list because I have content sensitive. So if I go back here to my mesh and I can see that I have a nice mesh, all I want to do here is to, for example, if I click on this, browse to cube, I can go to my content browser and I want to change to a sphere in runtime. You see? Now if I press play, I should be able to see a sphere, right? But how do we do this in runtime? Very simple. So we're going to go back here. I'm just going to revert my change to leave it as a cube. And you need to identify where do you want this to happen. On our case, it's when we play, which is usually the begin play. And that's where you want to implement this. So what we're going to do is that we're going to set static mesh. So set static mesh, it's basically the same as you come here and you change the mesh, but it happens using blueprints. So we're going to add this, right? And then all you got to do is that we are going to select our sphere, right? Or the mesh that we want to change, and we're going to select it here. You can also search here, right? And now if I compile and save here and I press play, look what happened. I have a cube. I have a sphere, although it is a cube set up before. And if you think why does that happen, it's because we in real time are managing to change this sphere, right? And that's all I wanted to show for this part of the video. The next one, we're going to go over event tick. All right.